Sometimes when I play World of Tanks, I actually stay and watch the match to the end. Because sometimes I wonder what happened in the match. Only sometimes. Now, these two VKs have been duking it out in the corner for a few minutes. And I actually skipped a few minutes before hitting the record button. Because it is really a slow progress watching them fight. I would say they are both fairly new to the game, but they both have tier 8 heavy tanks. So, yeah. Anyway, we're gonna return to them throughout this video, see how they're doing, and have some RNG moments mixed in between. So let's jump to something else. Now we all know and love artillery, right? And I think if you remove the O-match mechanic, we wouldn't have problems like this. Now, this guy is still alive and he can still have a decent game. I've had good games with 1 HP. Yes, a few more, but oh wait, there's more artillery. Oh boy. And we're back at the VKs. Just for a brief moment though, we're gonna continue with the video after this. One of them is peeking. Nice. Is he gonna fire? He's actually firing HE. Probably a good choice here. Our VK will reply with an actual penetration. Now, we're at something different. I'm in the Object 263. Currently fighting an OHO, I believe. And let's see if we can get a shot in. 1052. That would seem like an overmatch penetration again. Let's see where it hit. Oh well, I guess this is alright since it is an artillery. Oh wait. We're back at the VKs once again. And it looks like we tuned in on a good moment. Cause something happened. Now, their VK bounced an HE shell and our pinned one. Will Steve the heavy tank actually flip this one around and turn it into a win for himself? Or will he lose to the enemy heavy tank? I'll guess we have to return later and see how this one is gonna end. But for now, next clip. Now, from one Steve to another. This is not Steve in the VK heavy tank. Well, it is actually Steve in another VK heavy tank, but this is Steve too. Now, we're gonna jump forward a few minutes because I'm not doing that well in this tank. It's not really working for me as a sniper, so let's play it aggressive and jump forward just a bit. Now, we jump forward a few moments here, and the enemy team is now taking the cap circle. We can't have that. I want to win. Also, pay attention to Steve 2 in the background. Of course he hasn't moved. Did you expect him to? Anyway, let's take out this Tiger P. Let's wait for the reload. And let's wait for the stun duration. And honestly, I don't think there is any more satisfaction in the world than this. Shooting a Chrysler in the side and taking him out of the game. Oh boy. Now let's get behind this AT tank. And thank you artillery for helping us. But I guess when you speak of artillery in a Asian tank, Karma is gonna hit even harder. Oh boy, that joke was so bad. Anyway, let's jump to the next clip. And now for something completely different. What? You expected me to return to that VK? Nah, there's no pattern here. That would be too obvious and boring. Nah, instead we join this 3 vs 3. We have an Object 140 who just threw his tank away. But this is still a 2 vs 3, this is still winnable. You just need to wait for my backup. Nah, please don't. Please don't throw your tank away, sir. God damn it. Oh well, this is a 1 vs 3. Let's start by taking out their tier 9 heavy tank. Well, that's a light tank, and he's gonna circle me for days. I have one option here. Well, actually I have two. Let him circle me for days, or go down into that ditch, kill the medium tank, and hide behind some of the wreckage. I'm gonna try to do that. Unfortunately, we need a penetration from the Centurion, and well, I can hide behind some of the wreckage if it wasn't because the light tank just took my engine. This seems like death. Well, damn it. This is how you throw a game in 1 minute. Anyway, next clip. Oh boy. That was close. Now, I guess you can say that Karma always will strike twice when you're in an Asian tank. Oh, what's this? A medium tank. Please bounce so I can win the game. Thank you. And we get taken out by an E25. Pay attention to Steve too, by the way. You can do it, Steve! From one Steve to another. We're back at the VK. Let's see how the rest of the team is doing while he's here having his epic fight. See, the IS-6 is fighting the Object 416. Nice. He wins the match with no HP. I told you could do a lot of things with no HP. Yeah, Steve is still not moving. You know what? Let's return later. I haven't talked nicely about some of these people in this video. So I think it's about time I embarrass myself. But not before the Scorpion miss point blank range shot on the FCM50T. But we can all do that. We all make mistakes sometimes. My turn. IS-6 gun versus a stick of butter. Yep, I messed that one up good. And I get punished for it. Fair enough. I think it's about time we take out this FCM50T. Is it my turn now? Yup. Will the FCM50T die eventually? Let's return to that in the next episode. Actually, never mind, he just died. Well, that was embarrassing. And show the message in the chat and next clip. And we're back with Steve. Steve 2, that is. Now, Steve haven't really been doing much this game, he's just been sitting here. I have a theory about this, but first let's skip a few minutes and see if anything actually happens. My theory is that this game was just one big schizophrenic mess. Steve camped like a tank destroyer. I pushed like a heavy tank. And if you looked at the artillery throughout the match, he actually moved around a lot. He clearly thought he was a light tank. Now, Steve could have been a pacifist as well, but he just damaged the E25, so that rules out that theory. But who would have thought this game ending with an artillery pushing the cap circle? We just saw the E25 killing Steve. Now it's my turn to play the E25. So from one tank destroyer to another, this is the ISU-152, equipped with the BL-10 gun before it became the BL-9.5. Oh yeah. Now meeting one of these is terrifying enough, but what if you have a platoon mate with you who also has a BL-10? Well, you have a BL-20. Both guns are ready to fire once again. That's the BL-10, and that's the BL-20. Meanwhile, back at the IS-6, who is on very low HP, he's still fighting the Löwe. There's one thing he has to do here, and that's wait for his support in the OHO. Here he comes. Better late than never, I guess. Now the OHO has the HP and the armor to fight off the Löwe. So the IS-6 does the sensible thing and push into the cap circle. He will now be joined by the OHO, but not before the OHO eats a side shot from the Löwe. Of course, Steve is still fighting the VK in the background, but we will return to him later. For now, these two will push into the cap circle. Next clip. And now for something completely different. I'm in my T10. We had an ally, and Spitfire is also here. We came here to fight. We found the fight, but we're heavily outnumbered and outgunned, and I'm about to die here. Now, most of the times you would just leave the match after you died, right? You would go back to the garage, but I had a teammate, so I'm gonna watch him fight to the end. Now, Spitfire here is in his T10 as well, and if the rest of the enemy team just could do like that one and roll out side first in front of a T10, this side would be much easier to fight. It also helps he has fire support from the base, and they're putting in some effective fire on these tanks. That's one more dead tank. And that T10 bounced because he has the INS-3 gun. Now you might be asking, why am I showing this? And that's a good question actually. But firstly, I thought it was funny that the E3 just bounced on like point blank range in the T10. Then I thought it was funny the artillery took out the T10, so now it's a 1 versus 1. And now it's super awkward for the E3 because he can't do anything because he's against a turreted tank. So we managed to flip this flank actually. There's only one enemy left besides this E3. And he's now out of the match. It's also funny to see how much effort the enemy team put into killing this one tank. And they still haven't succeeded with it. But we're not done yet. We still have the game with the IS-6, the OHO and Steve of course. We need to finish this one. And I know this ending is kind of anticlimactic, but it ended with the IS-6 and the OHO capping out the base. Steve will push around the corner, put one last shot into the VK, and they will both bounce. And that's how that game ended. Now you might be wondering, why did I create this video? Well, I felt some of the clips weren't good enough for a montage or weren't good enough for a commentary. I wanted to try to make something new, something entertaining out of it. I don't know if I succeeded, but thanks for watching if you watched to the end. Have a nice day whenever you watch this. And as always, remember to have fun in games, because that's why they're made. I'm Mr. Anderson336, and I'm out.